All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I got a bunch of PayPal news stuff for you. And this is huge news because this is sort of what is driving the price of Bitcoin right now. It's at $13,800, nearly at that $14,000 mark. I expect if we move over 14,000 again, there's usually that $1,000 wall every time. And usually Bitcoin will go over that $1,000 wall and then sort of fall back and then go back over. It's usually the case. Sometimes it does it a couple times, but nearly at $14,000. So Bitcoin is just winning. We haven't seen these prices in a long time. We haven't been over $10,000 this long ever in the history of Bitcoin. So this is actually the beginning of the big bull run. Is it going to super explode? Well, you know what? I kind of hope not in some ways, because that slow growth is what keeps that price up high. When it goes up too fast, then people sell fast. But we have a lot of PayPal news, and I sort of condensed it all in one video for you guys today. So first of all, we have PayPal CEO says that only 10% of the clients have access to crypto services. There's a waiting list. So right now, you allegedly should be able to buy cryptocurrency. A lot of people can with PayPal at the moment. You just use your PayPal money, and it's for free until I think the end of the year. Then they'll probably be fees, of course, just to get everybody in on it. But right now, only 10% of those people can actually access it. So imagine when the greater 90% of PayPal users can just fully purchase Bitcoin and then use it for payments, etc. So PayPal CEO Daniel Schulman said that the large online payment processor will add numerous new cryptocurrency-related features at the start of next year. And I was talking about this in my past couple of videos, that PayPal initially is only really going to do simple Bitcoin purchases right now with no public keys or anything like that, not being able to send it to even other PayPal users themselves. Right now, you just buy it, hodl it, it goes up and down in price, and then when you use it to buy goods and services over the internet, the vendor on the other end just receives fiat. But there's going to be numerous new cryptocurrency related features, and I think they're just starting this right now just so it's sort of easy for their own company. I think if they really just brought about a bunch of different cryptocurrencies and a bunch of different services all at once, it would probably overwhelm their customer service. And perhaps even the Bitcoin blockchain itself, even though the people that hold Bitcoin for PayPal is sort of just one big third-party service for holding onto the Bitcoin. But they are going to have to buy more Bitcoin if people want to buy more Bitcoin. But even still, it could definitely provide a little bit of congestion to the network, even more than there already is. So it's good to start with that baby step. And look what that baby step has brought us, nearly $14,000 Bitcoin off of this news so far. So in the most recent earnings call reported by Fortune, Schulman noted that the platform will enable crypto payments for goods and services at 28 million merchants. He reassured that it will not result in any incremental fees for either consumers or merchants, other than the fact that you're going to be buying it and using it. So PayPal's mobile payment service app Venmo will also support digital asset purchases, another very big PayPal-esque app. Schulman, who previously said that he owns Bitcoin, asserted that only 10% of PayPal clients have access to the cryptocurrency services. There was a waiting list, which was 2 or 3 times as great as what the company anticipated. I wonder why they didn't anticipate this, because people have been talking about PayPal adding Bitcoin for a really long time, and it's sort of been a running joke as well. More users will gain access in the following few weeks. PayPal CEO also commented that his company is in close talks with central banks and regulators to explore cryptocurrency wallets for users. He believes that digital wallets are a natural complement to all forms of digital currency. Crypto Potato, the website here with the link, with the article, reported in mid-October that the giant online payment processor plans to introduce cryptocurrencies to its over 300 million users. Since then, the attention has only risen, which led to the price appreciation of Bitcoin and other digital assets. I would say mostly just Bitcoin right now. The price of Ethereum was really just based on the DeFi hype, and everything else is sort of kind of in the red. Nothing else is really performing nearly like like Bitcoin is. And this is somewhat unusual because while Bitcoin does have its own runs throughout the years, usually it's like Bitcoin and then Bitcoin goes down as people realize it's not going to go up anymore. So they sell their profits and then they put it on something that's already low, like altcoins. And that's when the altcoin season comes, and it sort of does that back and forth. But right now, we're not seeing that. We're just seeing an explosion in Bitcoin because of this PayPal, which, as much as I like to rip on PayPal, this is absolutely huge. This is I think this is the biggest news I've ever brought to the channel. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to cryptocurrency, in my opinion, so far. And while it is PayPal and it's very centralized, yada yada, unfortunately, this is what everybody wanted. This is what this is sort of the price we're going to pay for institutions coming in and buying $7 billion worth of cryptocurrency. This is sort of the price we're going to pay for PayPal, to raise the price. Plain and simple. But moving on here, PayPal plans a much wider embrace of cryptocurrency, including Venmo use, as the last article stated. PayPal CEO Dan Schulman provided new details about the company's recent embrace of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on Monday, describing plans for shopping tools as well as potential partnerships with central banks. Schulman's remarks, which came during an earnings call after PayPal posted recent third quarter revenues, follows the company's announcement last month that it will soon allow users to buy cryptocurrency within its app, which is happening now. According to Schulman, starting in the first half of next year, PayPal will let users draw from cryptocurrency accounts to pay for goods and services at 28 million merchants that use the company's platform. So about 10% of people can buy it right now, and then eventually you'll actually be able to use that Bitcoin at 28 million merchants, which, I mean, is effectively all of them, and then it'll just seamlessly, supposedly, transfer your Bitcoin to fiat, and then the vendor will just get fiat, which I think is a great idea because a lot of vendors, I mean, we've had 12 years of adoption now, and let's call it 11. And vendors they honestly really just don't want to deal with Bitcoin, and I don't blame some of them, just because you're going to have a whole different section or people to sell the Bitcoin or use a third party like BitPay or have different accounting methods. So it's just a lot. It would actually cost vendors more money in order to receive Bitcoin at this time, because they're not really hodling it. I'm not even sure if legally Walmart or these big companies like Target or Amazon or something like that could actually hodl Bitcoin without being considered an investment institution. And that's why BitPay came along I believe it was BitPay, isn't it BitPay? That was sort of the third party that just automatically transfers it into fiat for the companies. But PayPal will let users draw in services at 28 million merchants. The arrangement, he says, will not result in any incremental fees for either consumers or merchants. Well, probably not more fees, but it's definitely going to be more fees at the same time because more people are going to be using PayPal to utilize the service, and they're going to make more money, of course. And I don't blame them on that. They are a company after all, and they're after profits. But next year's expansion will also enable customers to use Venmo, its popular peer-to-peer payment service, to buy and shop with cryptocurrencies. So that's going to be another huge news when that actually comes out, and it's just simply going to pump the price of Bitcoin even further, or at least prop it up if it happens to be falling at the time. PayPal's bullishness on cryptocurrency, Schulman implied, is based on early response to last month's crypto offering. He said the size of the waiting list for access to crypto, which is now available to 10% of PayPal customers, was 2 or 3 times as great as what the company anticipated. On a broader level, Schulman pointed out to the fact that companies and central banks are experimenting with cryptocurrencies and the utility of digital wallets. Such wallets are often equated with the payment services offered by Apple and Google, but also include apps used to store Bitcoin and other types of new money. So moving on here, PayPal to make crypto services international in 2021 with plans to support CBDCs. So basically almost the same news here, but something a little interesting in that title there, CBDCs. What is that? That is a central bank digital currency. That means that a lot of nations around the world are thinking about removing their fiat money and going to a central bank digital currency. Now, this, in some ways, is the great devil. I've actually been talking, I remember talking about this 2 years ago on my channel, talking about how if nations bring out a digital currency, that it's sort of the great evil. And here's why. I don't think paper money will disappear right away. I think that will take a long time to actually physically remove paper money, because if you did that, that would create a lot of problems for people who don't have bank accounts or don't have cell phones or don't have digital wallets and things like that. That would actually be quite devastating to the economy. So I think that's going to be phased out over a long period of time. So don't get me wrong here. But with central bank digital currency, everything you do would be completely visible. Now, kind of, that's already the case. I mean, if you go around and you use your debit card wherever, that can be traced back to the end of time, essentially. Or the beginning of time, or whenever you started using it. But we do use money for a lot of things that maybe we just don't want the government to know about. Maybe it's not necessarily illegal. Maybe it is illegal, and you just don't want the government to know about it. And that will be sort of a thing of the past. You'll have to use Bitcoin, and that could actually spur the adoption of Bitcoin or Monero and things like that even more. But on the other end, it makes total sense. Money costs a lot of money. Now, that's a weird statement to say, but money costs a lot of money. Well, first of all, you got to pay a whole big warehouse of people to stand there and produce the money and use a bunch of machines, cotton, inks, and various methods to remove forgery and fake money, scientific development on the money. If you've ever taken a look at a good $100 bill, it is complex for sure. Like it was honestly mind-boggling how complex a $100 bill is, and that costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to ship the money to banks and various institutions and various places across the globe and across America. It costs a lot of money for banks to move the money around. It costs a lot of money to take the old money and then destroy that old money. So with central bank digital currencies, it's all just with the click of a button, and nobody has to physically make it. Nobody has to physically move it. Nobody has to physically destroy it. So it makes total sense for governments to want a digital currency. So PayPal shook the cryptocurrency industry with the announcement it is soon going to launch buying and selling of various digital currencies. The news was followed by a Bitcoin rally that pushed the token beyond 13,000. Although it's not a token, whoever wrote this article, it is a coin. Tokens are technically that reside on a blockchain of a bigger blockchain like Ethereum. But whatever, right? Now senior executives from the payments giant have revealed more details regarding the company's roadmap, and they're looking to plan with CBDCs as well. During the company's Q3 2020 earnings, they said that clearly the world is rapidly moving from physical to digital, stressing over the rapidly evolving payments market and financial services sector. CBDCs are a matter of when and how they are done, and not if. And I believe that as well. I do think that our platform and all the new digital infrastructure that we're putting in place right now can help make that management and movement of money more efficient, less expensive, and faster. PayPal just licking their lips. They are just that's sousy money. Woohoo! They are really getting into it now, and I'm surprised they didn't before. I think they started to realize real quick, look, we could start with Bitcoin, and then we could show the government, hey, look, we could do the CBDC thing for you. I think they're going to kind of get into some partnerships with the government, and at least in a consulting role too. They're definitely going to make a lot of money with this. Then it goes on to basically the same thing, saying that our waiting list was 2 or 3 times what our expectations were. So only 10% of PayPal users right now can actually use the crypto services. We're seeing a lot of people who had already bought crypto open their wallet several times a day to check out what's happening with their crypto investments, because they know everything that you're doing. So that is the big PayPal news as of yet, sort of condensed into 3 different articles of similar nature. However, it's pretty clear that right now that only 10% of, I think this article really summed it up the best, with these bullet points, that 10% of PayPal clients, so that leaves 90% additional remaining to buy Bitcoin. That means their third-party Bitcoin holder that PayPal is using is going to have to buy a lot more, because people are going to be coming pretty quickly as soon as they release that. In 2021, they're going to open it up to 28 million merchants. They're also going to be talking with the government with CBDCs, which which I'm not very a fan of at all, but they certainly are. So 300 million users coming into Bitcoin pretty soon here, whether they know it or not. But moving on to CoinMarketCap, or at least back to it, we got that $13,800 Bitcoin. Let's do a little refresh and see where we're at. 13,745. We'll give a little golf clap there as we did go down, but not a big deal. Nothing we haven't seen before. And again, just a sea of red. Everything is red, except just a random coin or two. A lot of these coins are actually stable coins, like a true USD. And as we go down, we got a little Decred there, the Midas touch, but not much green going on right now. Everybody selling everything for Bitcoin right now and just pumping Bitcoin exclusively. So will there be an alt season after this? That is certainly possible. If we reach $14,000, $15,000 Bitcoin and it starts going down, people are going to need to put that money somewhere. They're going to need to put those profits somewhere. And, I think these altcoins are just going to pump right back up. It depends on which one has the hype. And right now it's just overwhelmingly Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the brand name. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency that everyone will talk about. You don't go to work and talk to somebody for the first time about cryptocurrencies without mentioning Bitcoin. So with PayPal and institutions and various companies buying hundreds of millions, if billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. These are unprecedented times. And as I said in the previous video, that I don't believe we're ever really going to dip that hard again. Even if we do go down a few $1,000s, I think the institutions and various large companies are going to buy up the Bitcoin again. They're just waiting for a dip. And so it's no longer just a couple of whales coming along. No longer is it just like BitConnect just selling off their massive amounts of Bitcoin after they scammed everybody. This is totally different times. The institutions have arrived. But that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, share the video. That helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below. Give me a follow on those. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.